Hey guys, it's Tom of It's Tom's Life, and this is my budget with me video for February 2021. I've just finished creating my budget for February, and today I'd love to take you guys through that and go through what I expect to take in and how I expect to save and spend that money. Just before we get into it, I'd just like to mention that the website I'll be using in this video is called Nula Budget. It's actually a website I've been making myself and I'm continuing to improve all the time. If you guys are interested in it, I'll leave a link in the description below, and if you have any feedback of new features or improvements, then you can also get in touch with me on Instagram on my DMs, and I'll leave a link to that below as well. So with that out the way and without further ado, let's get into my budget. So first of all is my income. So I only have one source of income at the moment, which is my salary. I work full time and my salary is as expected this month to be £2,082. This actually isn't my full salary. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I take out my charity contributions before I put it into my budget, and this just gives me a little bit of privacy in terms of what my contributions are and also what my salary is. So as per my budget, my salary minus any kind of charity contributions is £2,082. My next category is debt, so I'm still in baby step 2 of the Dave Ramsey baby steps, and I'm planning to pay off £400. I'm really close to being debt free. It's going to be about March or April, or we'll see when it gets closer to it. It's kind of right on the edge. So this month I'm paying £400 to debt. And next is my funds. And just before I get into funds, you might notice that all of these figures seem like they're all rounded to the nearest pound. That's just because I use Monzo Bank here in the UK and I have roundups turned on. So I have a separate pot of money. Every transaction that happens in my bank account, the difference up to the nearest pound gets put into that pot, and I'm doing that as a kind of challenge for the year, and we'll see at the end of the year how much money I manage to save that way. I have to say already it's a lot more, even just after 1 month, than I expected. So yeah, really exciting to see that little challenge on its way. So yeah, that just explains why all of these figures are all rounded up to the nearest pound. So for funds, the first one is emergency fund, £500. Now, if you do follow Dave Ramsey, you might be a little bit confused by why I'm still saving an emergency fund whilst paying off debt. That was a decision I've made at the start of this year, just due to the kind of world events that are happening. I wasn't totally comfortable with only £1,000 emergency fund. So just at the start of this year, I am putting a bit of extra money into an emergency fund to top that up to 2,000. So I did do that for January. This is obviously February, and after this I'll be able to not put any more into there until I've paid off all my debt. So yeah, for February I'll be putting £500 in that emergency fund. Gifts, this is just things like birthdays. This will be £20. Holiday is £20. I know I should be putting all the money towards the debt, but it just works out nicely this way, so this is the way I'm going to do it. At the end of the day, this is a personal budget. It's personal, so yeah, for me it made sense to do it this way. You can kind of do it how you want to do it, but for me, I'm really close to being out of debt, and it works out nicely this way, as I said. If you're not quite sure what funds are and what sinking funds are, I do have a video. My last video was a deep dive into that. I'll also leave a link to that video in the description if you want to check that out as well. So next is my moving fund. This is £100. I'm looking to move out of the place I'm in right now this year as well. It's alright as a place to live, but it definitely there are not some nicer places, definitely. So I'm saving £100 each month for that, for a deposit. My tax bill is £130. This is my tax bill for the current tax year that ends in April, and that will be due at the end of January 2022. I'm estimating that this will be about £1,400 to £1,500. So I'm just putting an amount each month for that one as well. And finally, Christmas. I know it's a long way away, but I'm saving £20 each month, so £20 there for Christmas, and that's all of my funds. So next are my household expenses. First of all, my rent is £450. My electric has gone up this month. It's normally £29, but I received an email from my electricity supplier this month to tell me that I'm using a little bit more than they expected, so it needs to increase by £5. So it's a bit annoying, but never mind, that's £34. My water bill is £13, my insurance is £7, and council tax is £104. The good thing about my council tax this month is it's the last payment I'll need to make until the new tax year, so that means that in March I won't have a council tax bill, which will be really good because I'll be able to put that money towards my debt next month as well. So next is my bills. First of all, my phone bill, which is £11, my internet is £29, and I have some cloud storage things like iCloud and Google Drive, and that's really cheap, that just comes to £3. And last but certainly not least is my general category, and I would say this is the category that I spend most of my time throughout the month going in, making transactions. So kind of this is the main part of my budget, the general category. First of all is groceries. It's a 4-week month, February, so I usually spend about £30 a month. I live on my own, I'm a single guy, so £30 plenty for me. 4 times 30 is 120. Next is toiletries, which is £20. Household, which is 30. This is just usually things like laundry detergent, washing up liquid, that kind of stuff. Haircut is £21. I put this in my budget again. I know I put it in last month and I didn't use it. You can probably tell. All of the hairdressers are shut at the moment because of lockdown. It's me putting this in there just to kind of more to hope that I'm able to get a haircut next month. But I'm not holding out for that. If I don't end up getting a haircut, I'll just put this towards my debt payment as well. But for now, we'll leave it in the budget. Keep our fingers crossed that I'll be able to get a haircut in February. And finally is my miscellaneous category. This is £50. This shouldn't be like an emergency fund, so it's not for financial emergencies. It's really just for expenses throughout the month that come up that you can't really budget for because they kind of change the types of things that they are each month. So some examples of things like in this category for January would be there was someone leaving where I work and everyone kind of put some money in for a gift. Also some contributions I made to a YouTube channel that I watch quite a lot, and I wanted to make a small contribution to there. So £50 just covers all those things. It means that I don't have to go into my emergency fund or any other savings. It just sits there. And it usually I usually spend about £30 or thereabouts. Anything left over I just put into my debt at the end of the month anyway. So it's just that buffer there and it gives me that peace of mind. That's it for today. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you'd like to see more videos like this about personal finance and budgeting, please consider subscribing below. It would mean a hell of a lot to me as well. And next week I'll be doing a full review of my January 2021 budget. So I'll see you there.